Good morning, students. This is your Shanghita ma'am over here, and I welcome all of you in my English literature class today. Today we will discuss the first chapter in your Beehive book, The Fun They Had. The Fun They Had is a futuristic story. It tells us about the revolutionary changes that will come in the field of education in the 22nd century, in the year 2157. So here there are two characters we will come across, Margie and Tommy. They are 11 and 13-year-old children who live in the future where there are no real books but only the mechanical teachers. Who are mechanical teachers? It is a computer programmed to teach children in the futuristic schools. Their idea of a school is a robot system which customizes lessons for them and teaches them on the screen. So through the screen, the children of these futuristic schools were taught. The system has slots for submitting homeworks and calculates their grades instantly so that they can understand what their problems are or if they need any rectification or not. One day, Tommy discovers an old book in the attic. Attic means attic means a space just below the roof used as a storeroom. So it is different from what Tommy and Margie consider as books because it is written on the paper and bound together. So it is a book, and the book that they have never seen before. So Margie and Tommy feel that their television screen is much better than an old book, which can be discarded when you are done reading it. But the mechanical teachers, the computer screens, they are forever. They are full of knowledge. So they thought the books to be useless. But a television screen can store millions of books and they can reread them as many times as they want. So these children are living in the futuristic schools, so they thought that the old books are of no use to them. So Margie doesn't like the book very much because it is about the schools and she has never seen a school. Margie doesn't like school because of her mechanical teacher. So what does she think of school? She thinks of school as the mechanical teacher. She doesn't like geography and the mechanical teacher keeps giving her test after test on geography. So she doesn't like to read geography. The subject geography she doesn't like to read. But the mechanical teacher keeps on giving her test after test on geography. So Margie's dismal performance, as Margie's performance was not good, so her mother made a call for the county inspector. So who was the county inspector? County inspector came to repair the mechanical teacher. The county inspector was a round man with a red face. He takes the teacher apart and then puts it back together. So he has been called by Margie's mother. Margie had hoped that he would not know how to repair it. But alas, to her dismay, he knows how to fix it up. Even though she doesn't mind the lesson themselves, she really doesn't like the slot for homework and the test papers which are on the mechanical teacher. So she doesn't enjoy all of this. The mechanical teacher is something that she never enjoys. The learning system in place made her write out all her answers in the punch code. So there are punch code system through the punch code system, she has to enter her homework into the mechanical teacher. Once she submitted her work, the teacher would correct all her answers and calculate the grades immediately so that she could know where she had made her mistakes and she could rectify it immediately. The county inspector is nice to her and defends her performance by saying that the geography section was programmed for the higher level. So that was why So the county inspector is nice to her and defends her performance by saying that the geography section was programmed for a higher level. So that is why she was not being able to perform properly. He has now set it to the level of a 10-year-old and it would teach Margie better. From now onwards, she would be able to score good marks. Margie is disappointed that the inspector will not take away the mechanical teacher. She thought that the mechanical teacher, the computer screen, would be taken away by the county inspector, but that didn't happen. So she was sad. Margie hates school. She asks Tommy why anyone would write about school in that book which Tommy had found in the attic earlier that day. Tommy, with a superior tone, tells her that schools of old times were very different than from the schools that they have now. So they are having schools in their just beside their bedroom in the form of the mechanical teacher, which is very boring to them. But the old times, students used to go to school just like you people did. In those days, the teachers who taught in schools were men. The school itself was a building where boys and girls from the different places came to study, and they studied the same things. They enjoyed their studies. They played together, they laughed together, they shared their tiffins together, and they really enjoy the time together in the old schools. So Margie doesn't think that a man could have such a wide knowledge of different subjects like a computer. So she thought that a computer can teach different subjects, but a man cannot teach different subjects at the same time. She, like her mother, believes that every child needed teaching according to their needs, because every child is different from each other. Okay, so everybody's needs are different. Margie is now curious about the schools of the past. She wanted to learn more about the schools of the past. She and Tommy are still reading from the book when Margie's mother interrupts them. Margie's mother enters into that room when they were discussing about the old school, the book that they have found. She reminds Margie that it was time for her and Tommy to attend school. Where was her school? Just next to her bedroom. There was a mechanical teacher and that was her school. So Margie and Tommy attend school from Monday to Friday at a scheduled time. At a proper time, there was a proper time, scheduled time for them, and they used to attend school at that time. Margie's mother believes that studying at a fixed time helps the children learn more efficiently. If you want to learn more efficiently, then you need to go to school. You need to study at the same time, at a proper time. Margie goes back to her schoolroom, which is next to her bedroom, where her mechanical teacher was placed. The mechanical teacher was already lit up for the lesson. There was the mechanical teacher and the mechanical teacher was already there to teach the lesson for today. The teacher asks her to enter her homework on arithmetic in the proper slot. So today's work will be on arithmetic, and in the proper slot she has to enter her homeworks so that the mechanical teacher could teach her. Margie can now only think of the old school where everyone came together to study, talk, and laugh, where children studied in a particular building and they had a human teacher who gave them homework, where children sat together and studied together. To Margie, all these things appeared to be fun, which is completely missing in her school. While the teacher flashes fractions on the screen, Margie dreams of how the children must have loved school in the older days. So I hope that students, you all are also missing your school, your playground, your friends, your teachers. You are missing all these a lot, as today we are teaching you virtually. So I think you all can relate to this story. I hope today you all enjoyed your lesson with me. Thank you.